Hello, in this class of GPRS, which is General Packet Radio Service, we will study GPRS packet. Now this GPRS, which is a packet radio service, that means transmission of packets through air. So in this, there is a transmission of packets. So let's understand that what is packet and what are the information does it contain. Now these packets contain two kinds of data. The information stored in the packet is of two kinds. The first one is data information and another one is control information. That means the signaling part. So in a data we have, or in a packet we have data information as well as control information in a single packet. Control information provide data the network the needs to deliver. That means what are the needs to deliver, which are my source and destination address. So I provide, that means control information will provide the network the desired information about the source and the destination address where to route this data information. Now I will compare this data information with the packet to the letter. Now we have a letter, so I will write my information on that letter. I will pack the letter and then enclose this letter in an envelope. Now on an envelope, I will write destination address and my address, that means my source address. Why? Because if this packet is not delivered to the destination, it will be returned back to me. So I require source address as well as destination address both. The same function is with GPRS packet, that you require your secret information, which is your data. You require to enclose them into a encryption, that means into an envelope, which is your control information. And on the control information, we require to write on our address, which is my source address and my destination address. So control information is required to have a proper address as well as to have a control that where to route the packet. Other than this, we have various error correction bits also. In this we have, other than this we have error correction bits. So this is a GPRS packet. Now let's understand the structure of this. Now if this is a packet, so I will divide the packet into three parts. Like the complete packet, and it is divided into three parts. The first one is header. So then we have trailer. And in between I have a payload. So this is the packet description, that we have header, payload and trailer. Header represents the start of the packet, whereas trailer represents the end of the packet. And in between this payload, this contains my data which I require to transmit. Now here, that means header contains information which is my sender's address. So sender address, that means source address, is saved in header bits. Now trailer will contain my destination address and in between this, that means payload, this will contain my data. So I am transmitting data with source and destination address, which itself my packet. Now this packet has a constant length and which correspond to GSM time slot. Length of this will always be constant. Why the length of bit is constant? Because it has to correspond with GSM time slot. Because time slot is the unit and the same frequency we are using, we are clubbing the GPRS with GSM. So radio frequency and that time slot which are carrying our voice bit will have to carry the data bits. So it is required that that means my length of the packet should be constant because it's required to correspond with the time slot. Now that means time slot allocation. What about the data transmission and time slot allocation? So data transmission and time slot allocation is dynamic in nature or random in nature. So and it is totally based on FIFO as we had discussed in the previous lecture, that it is the first in and first out dynamic allocation of resources, that means dynamically allocation of data or time slot. So this is about a GPRS packet. Now let's move to the GPRS architecture. Now we have already established GSM and we will club the GPRS architecture with the GSM components itself. Now this is my BSS base station subsystem and network station subsystem of the GSM architecture. This is my mobile station and this mobile station can support voice only. This is my another one mobile station and it can support voice and data. So I can say that this mobile station is my GPRS enabled mobile station. So it is required that this is to be attached with BTS. BTS are controlled by BSC and this BSC is controlled by MSC. With this MSC we have components like HLR, VLR, EIR and AUC. Then we have PSTN also. So this is my GSM architecture. Now we require to add on GPRS entities in the same architecture because we are just clubbing both generations together, GSM and GPRS together. So we don't want another architecture because if we have another architecture for GPRS, we require another frequencies, we require another handset. So a person have to carry two phones, one for voice and another for data. So that's why we require only clubbing of architecture. That means my single device can be able to have both the generations of the technologies. So for this, that means for enabling of data, we have added on an entity over here and that unit is PCU. Now for data, we have provided a connectivity with in NSS part with BSC directly. So that is first entity is SGSN. This will be IP network. Then we have GGSN. This is in the NSS part. So this is the complete architecture of GPRS. So we require upgradation of BSC in the components, and we have added on a new entities in this network, which is my core network or NSS part. And we require data connectivity with the data centers. So these are the external network, which is any domain like Google servers. So servers are connected to this entity, and this is with this, and we are here network mobile station. So a very first change which I require is change in mobile station, that we require GPRS enabled phone. So for that we require to upgrade our mobile stations. Then coming about to BSS or the radio part, so we have a BSC upgradation with the unit which is PCU. Now PCU is packet control unit. So PCU is connected to SGSN, where SGSN is serving GPRS support node. IP as an internet protocol. Then we connect it to GGSN. GGSN as gateway. GPRS support node. Then we have BG. BG stands for border gateway. Where CG. CG as for charging gateway. We have DNS as domain name server. So FW I have written as a firewall. So these are the full forms. That means BSC, which is having a packet control unit. So this packet control unit requires to conduct SGSN for data. SGSN means serving GPRS support node. Then we have IP network connected with GGSN. GGSN is gateway GPRS support node connected to firewall, and firewall to the external network, that means the server, if YouTube servers or Google. Then we have DNS, that means domain name server. We have charging gateway and border gateway. So these are the GPRS architecture. Now let's explain this. Now, if this mobile station, that means this voice only, it has to call, then signal will flow to BTS. From BTS, the signals will reach BSC. The BSC as a call, so it will forward to MSC, and MSC can route the call as per the GSM flow. Now, this mobile station supports both voice, but at the same time, it has to do only one service at a time, because time slots here are the same, frequencies are the same. So whenever it has to call, it data will stop, or if it has to start the data, it has to stop the call. So whenever this mobile station requires to conduct, that means requires to have a call, so call will flow from BTS to BSC, and BSC to MSC. That means this green color path is a path of call or a voice. Now what happens if this mobile station has to access data at the same time? But not, because you have to stop one service. So data will take this path. Ultimately, you have to access data from the external network. So this red color sign shows that data access, or for your data access you require to pass through this entity. So paths are different. For voice you have a different path. So for GPRS you have another path. Now this was architecture. That means if I compare this much architecture, this is of GSM. And new entities that I have attached in my network, like these entities. These entities are new entities of my GPRS. But for normal users, as we don't require different, so this complete architecture that I have drawn over here is of GSM plus GPRS. So this is a complete architecture of GSM plus GPRS technology, and it supports mobile station that support voice only. It also supports mobile station that can support voice as well as data service. So it is a combination of both voice and data. Now I have not explained the working or the functionality of each and every entity. We will cover up the functionality of each and every entity of this unit in our next class. So today I will explain the various interfaces through which we are connected to these databases. So let's start with the databases. Databases, interfaces. So mobile station, BTS, year, BTS, BSC, BIS, BSC, MSc. Here we have a interface between BSc and MSc. Now this MSc is connected. I require this MSc to be connected to SGSN. So the interface is GS interface. Now this SGSN is connected to IP backbone, that means IP network. Like this and around. So the interfaces GN interface. Now with the IP network itself, we have connected with border gateway, and the interface is again G. And also we have another gateway which is CG, which is charging gateway. So the interface is same as a GN. Now if charging gateway or border gateway is connected to other PLMN network, that means border gateway is there to have connectivity between inter-PLMN network. So this is the interface is GB. Now this SGSN is connected to HLR also, and the interface is GR interface. Now this HLR is connected to GGSN also. We can see the connections and the interface name, and the interface that means between this is G6 interface. Now this GGSN is connected to external network. And the interface is GI interface. This SGSN that I have marked over here is connected to BSC, which is the main path for data transmission. That's why I'm making it bold. And this interface is GB interface. So we have various interfaces between various nodes defined. Like we have GB interface between BSC and SGSN, we have GB interface, this interface. So for call, BSC has to follow a interface, whereas for data, BSC has to follow GB interface. When SGSN is connected to GGSN, now this SGSN is connected to GGSN with the help of GN interfaces. Ultimately, they have to follow from IP network. So we have GN interface defined. The GS interface, GR, then we have G6 and GI interfaces. So the green marked interfaces, that means the encircle marked interfaces which I have drawn, are my new GPRS interfaces that I required or that we have added to the GPRS architecture to make the system flow effective. So from GN interface, we can say that this is a connectivity of border gateway to the IP network or GGS. That means other databases of GPRS are connected to the SGSN or the GGSN, which are the main nodes or the central control nodes, are connected with the help of GN interfaces. Other than this, like GR for HLR queries, why we require HLR queries for locations. For external network, we have GI interface, then with the GB interface, main interface between BSC and SGSN for packet transmission. We have GP interface for other network of GPRS, and external network we have GI interface. So these are our GPRS interfaces which we have covered in this class. Now we require to cover up the main components, that means the description of each and every entity of the GPRS architecture, and that description of each and every database or the node that we will cover in our next class. So in today's class, we have discussed the packet, what are its components, and how packets are arranged. That means it contains the source as well as destination address. Other than this, we have completed the architecture, but we do not have completed the description. The description of each and every node we will cover up in our next class. So for this class, thank you so much.